How are you? Again, Alex Will 64. How you doing? Welcome back to or if this is your first time, welcome to the Holography Ether-INS YouTube channel. Something to talk about out here because everybody's out here going through something. I ain't exempt. You know what I'm saying? As much as, you may have hear me talk about discipline and, getting into a correct mind frame, learning how to think, you know what I'm saying, learning how to address your traumas and your emotional baggage. I got a course on that. Yeah, but still that doesn't mean that I don't go through challenges like any other person or whatever. It doesn't mean that. It does mean that I am better equipped to deal with the challenge than anyone because of the fact that if I'm dealing with discipline and dealing with, inner work and all that stuff, right? But I know that maybe it doesn't have to be you specifically, somebody somebody in your family or whoever, or you've heard about it. People have been going to these psychiatrists and psychologists and therapists, psychotherapists to work out their problems. And like I said, it's a very noble gesture. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to fix yourself or whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's cool. Ain't nobody hating on that. And like I said, you're doing better than somebody that doesn't even want to address, any type of traumas or problems or any type of so-called mental illnesses that you may suspect yourself to have. Depression, you know what I'm saying, manic depressives, the jargon that the psychiatric world uses. That then you have people that think they're woke. They think they can now psychoanalyze you because they heard some psychiatric jargon, you know what I'm saying, online somewhere, or read some book on some new age psychology or something like that. Give them a hand. They at least ain't where they was. They're making progress in that. However, I'm a person who I'll admit to you on this camera here that I've been to a psychiatrist's office. You know what I'm saying? I've been there. I've been there. And you can kind of guess that, yeah, there was no progress made. You know what I'm saying? Not really. There wasn't no progress made. And it wasn't like I didn't want progress made, because that's another thing to also talk about when it comes to, like, counseling or you getting help from from a head doctor or shrink or something like that, right? Like, why would you go to their office and lay on their couch or sit with them and speak about your problems if you don't want to be helped or fixed or healed or treated or whatever? Why would you do that? You know what I'm saying? Because some of these things are court ordered, and like I said, there was a time where I had to do that based on a court order. I ain't gonna get into the reason why. It wasn't something where I needed the psychiatry at the time or that therapist or whatever. It was like I said, when you get into certain disputes, you know what I'm saying, they'll try to like assign that to you. You know what I mean? They'll assign it to you or whatever. I ain't crazy. Don't be out here telling people I'm crazy. I ain't crazy. I'm super sane. That means I'm sane, but on a super level. You know what I'm saying? Believe what you want to believe. You probably think I'm crazy anyway. But like I said, the first time that ever happened to me, I was a teenager, and just a teenager just going through a hard time. You know what I'm saying? People want to help out. People want to, maybe you need to talk to somebody. It's this standard teenage type of stuff or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But then the second time when I was older, when I was in my early 20s, this is when I really started to read into like psychiatry a little bit more, because I remember when I was younger, and my dad, he actually had one of his college courses was psychology, and he had this real thick textbook that he had at home. And me being a curious cat, you know what I'm saying, I went in there and was reading all through the textbook. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't where he was like, this is something you should read or whatever, like how your parents would do, or an authority figure. I was just naturally curious. I saw I was talking about psychology, and I just read through the textbook. And it's stuff in there that, I still kind of remember to this day about the mind and psychology and how people think and what are people's motivations, certain personality disorders or personality tests or exams like the Myers-Briggs and all that type of thing. I still kind of retain some of that information today. However, like I said, the second time I went to a psychiatrist, that was on my own accord and didn't really make progress either in that sense. And this was a situation where a cultural block, like for example, the guy he was white, I'm black, so what you know what I'm saying? You know, so-called black, so-called white. He couldn't understand my problems. He could never understand where I'm coming from. Now, there are things that are generally, you know, because depression is not it's not exclusive to ethnicity or a culture or a geographical location. Everybody around the world is depressed. There, you got depression everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Even people who have billions of dollars to someone who only has a little cardboard box to sleep on in Skid Row somewhere on the street, both of them depressed equally. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, me going to that psychiatrist when I was, you know, in my early 20s, it didn't solve anything. Didn't get anywhere. Nothing significant. You know what I'm saying? And the guy, he was, you know, he was a Catholic, so he was one of those like religious psychiatrists where they bring the religion into, you know, their assessment of people's minds and their emotional states and all those psychiatric things. You know what I'm saying? He didn't impose any of his Catholicism on me, but it was still an instance where he was still kind of looking at things from a Catholic point of view. And me, I grew up atheist, you know what I'm saying, for the most part. So me coming to him, I mean, we struck up a good relationship. It wasn't like he was like the worst guy in the world. It's just that his assessment of my mental states or what I went through as a black person or, you know, a colored person, whatever you want to call me, in America, he could never understand. You know what I mean? And that was my last time doing anything like that. However, I'm a guy who's, you know, I'm just naturally psychological. I like to deal with mind. You know the stuff that I like to post on Instagram if you follow me on there. I'm always posting about mind, knowledge. Again, I have a whole course on emotional baggage and dealing with your emotional traumas. I got courses on that. Um, so it's my time to really kind of. I've already made videos. I probably took them down or what. I'm coming to you once again to tell you that deal with someone like me and take a chance. I am was considered a metaphysical counselor. So I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not a psychotherapist. I'm not a you know, I'm none of that. What I provide would be considered like an alternative to those types of professionals. You know what I'm saying? I did graduate from, you know, the University of Metaphysics. And the reason I went to that school or that, you know, that institution is because I did not know how to like counsel people on a professional level. So I didn't go to University of Metaphysics to learn metaphysics. I went there to learn how to deal with you or whoever else on a professional level if I'm counseling you or giving you a consultation. So we talking about going all the way back to 2014 when I started doing astrology birth charts for people. And then in 2015, that's when I went to the University of Metaphysics, graduated in 2016. So from 2016 to now, I have this degree, if that's what you want to call it, of me dealing with dealing with people professionally on a level where I can counsel them. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know if you've ever been to a psychiatrist or a psychotherapist or whoever, a shrink or whatever, and I don't know if you may ever made progress. I don't know. In my experience, I didn't. Dealing with other people that I've already counseled on, you know, not just astrology, but a whole other list of topics and whatever, and things that they were going through, they didn't have much success with these professionals either. And for me, I'm gonna be honest, I don't really trust that field. So I don't know if you want to flag this video or consider this video anti-psychiatry. I wouldn't be, you know, mad if you did, but you did that sentiment. You could feel that off of me, like you could feel that. I don't think for the most part, it's helping anybody. Now there are, you know, the rare exceptions of people, and these are people that you'll notice that they use alternative methods as well. Like some of these psychotherapists and psychiatrists use astrology, and you don't even know it, and that helps them. And I wouldn't be upset about that. That's, you know what I'm saying. Especially me being an astrologer, I help people not just drafting up a birth chart for them, but counseling them on the birth chart. and whatever else comes with that. You know what I mean? So again, I don't know how you work out your problems. I don't know how you're doing that. Because some people act like they be online and they act like ain't nothing wrong with them. But you and I can see there's something going on. You know what I mean? Not everybody is just you can see that people are mental illness, which I don't even like using that term because it's like you know it kind of singles out this group of people that you would try to deem crazy, but it's like if you really look into it, a lot of us have mental illness, and but it's normalized within the society in which you live. It's normalized. They've made the abnormal normal, so you wouldn't even what I'm saying, somebody that's caught up in that brainwashing or conditioning wouldn't even be able to see how mentally ill the society is around them. Didn't Dave Chappelle say something like that on that interview with Oprah? It's like maybe the environment of which you live in is a little sick. And some people have, well, most people have a coping mechanisms for it. You know what I mean? But I'm telling you, like I said, take a chance. I'm available. If you need someone to, you know, help talk through your problems. And again, and what you get from me is also the understanding of mind, the understanding of astrology, the understanding of metaphysics. Because hold on, you wait right here. Let me get something that you need to know. And I had this packet right here for almost 7 years. So, as a metaphysical counselor, right, we're dealing with this woman named Christine Breeze. So, if you want to look her up or whatever she does, but this woman named Christine Breeze kind of broke down what it means to be a metaphysician or a metaphysical counselor of sorts. So what she says is, I got it right here in this paper, with a degree in metaphysics from the University of Metaphysical Sciences that she went to, I guess, you can become a metaphysician. That's not that important here. But what is important is a metaphysician helps people learn how to change their reality by working with underlying thoughts and emotions that cause the problems and create manifestations of suffering. Very important definition. Now, I would definitely change it to me. Where would I change it at? Well, she did say change their reality, but this is what I do as a metaphysician. I deal with the ethereal or the energetic causes of physical effects. So a metaphysician deals with the reason why you would be a metaphysician. Not because you just want to study metaphysics and be like an armchair philosopher. No, how would you apply what you learned in the metaphysical realm? So this is me being the counselor. If you would dare to, what I'm saying, purchase my services, that's what I'd be helping you do. I'd be helping you understand, not even just using the word energy, but just understanding the inner causes that create your outer effects. So that includes your sicknesses or your disorders or syndromes going on in your body to anything external to you. Like, for example, any of the things that are happening outside of your door or things you're going through with people in relationships, jobs, going to school, being out in the world, all that. So I'm helping you as a metaphysician understand the inner causes or the energetic causes or the mental causes of these physical effects that you're experiencing. So again, if you are somebody that's going through depression, if you are somebody that has been labeled a manic depressive or anything like that, now you can go the psychiatric route and they can prescribe you all these drugs and whatever. Has it worked for you if you've done it before? If not, I implore you to go to an alternative method like someone like me. You know what I'm saying? I got 4 years, or excuse me, from 2014 to now. So that's 8 years going on 9 years of counseling people on this very subject of metaphysics. Because astrology will be considered close to, or even some people consider it a branch of metaphysics because you're dealing with this whole chart thing and dealing with time and the time you was born, the place you was born, what I'm saying, the date and all that stuff, the day of the week you was, all that to kind of help determine, why are you experiencing some of the issues and the problems that you have in life at this moment, and what you can do to, overcome, eliminate the issue, whatever we have to do, or whatever we have to, get over in order to, get you into a so-called healthy mind state. So I just wanted to share that with you. You know what I'm saying? Because I know a lot of y'all going through some things. And just because you're reading up on SEMO subjects like spirituality, esoterica, metaphysics, and cults, that does not mean that you're healthy on the inside, like you have a healthy mind state. Doesn't mean that. You can study this stuff all day and never apply it. That's that armchair type thing going on, where you just, you pull a book out. Like, this is my first book, The Wrath of the Ashes. This is my first feature novel that I wrote. You know what I'm saying? People just imagine this is like a nonfiction book and they got all types of, knowledge and information and esoteric, arcane information in it. You can read this and be in your armchair all day. I'm in a chair. My elbows is propped up on, the chair or whatever. You can do this all day and never make progress within the mind itself or within your issues itself. So what does it mean to be sitting here reading this all day and it's not helping you, or it's not helping, it's not getting you anywhere? That's a lot of people. They just sit here and read. Oh, that's smart. They can pontificate this stuff to you. Oh, that's smart. That's, that's intelligent. But they, like I said, they're still going through these issues. Issues that can be conquered or triumphed over, if they would just apply what they've learned. And like I said, sometimes we need like a outside party, like me. Like I'd be like an outsider to you, because I don't know if you would go to someone personal for your issues. Like, for example, you go to your mama's, you go to your brother, your sister, you go to your best friend to talk about your issues, or are you someone that needs like an impartial party? Because if you go to your family members, sometimes it's not a good idea, because they may be part of the problem that you're having, your parents or whoever. Secondly, they may have some sort of bias. For example, some of our family members are religious and they may come at you with that bias. You know what I'm saying? See, you're dealing with somebody like me, like I understand all these metaphysical concepts. And like I'm trying to help you to be confident about dealing with me. You know what I'm saying? You watch my stuff, right? You see what I be talking about or posting. Or like I said, this may be your first time watching this. So I implore you. And if you don't trust me, go to someone that is go to someone who's not even involved with that psychiatric stuff, but is dealing with metaphysics. It's okay to get counseling. It's okay to get guidance in certain places and help you get on the right path of things. It's okay. This is still some self-taught, autodidactic type of thing, where it's like I'm more of an independent researcher, where I do my own experiments. I do my own studies, my own, you know what I'm saying? I've had teachers before. Of course, everybody has. But most of my knowledge is coming from what I learned in my own experience. So I also dealing with experiential learning and putting that above you just, again, reading books all day or what you done read on the internet. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, dealing with certain issues that you got, that you might know that going to a shrink ain't the way, because they don't even know what you're talking about. Like a shrink doesn't even consider some of the spiritual things that we know to be true, that we've experienced and we know to be true. So why would you go to him or her with your issues or problems? They don't understand this stuff. They don't understand how this connects to mind. Because a lot of them deal with the material side of the mind, where it's all about the brain and, what type of chemical imbalances you got. Then they try to subscribe you some sort of drug or whatever to help you with your imbalances. And then you are further imbalanced by the drug. We don't have to deal with drugs over here. We don't have to deal with prescription pills and nothing like that. Because and this is another thing to get into: victor and victim psychology. If you want to be here to talk about psychology, victor and victim psychology. So a lot of these shrinks, a lot of these psychiatrists, a lot of these psychotherapists, they get patients or clients that we don't like. They don't even want to heal. They don't want to overcome depression or manic depressiveness. They don't want to overcome their, whatever personality disorder or whatever is going on with them for the most part. A lot of them don't. And a lot of them are like in my situation, like the first time I went to a psychiatry office, that was court ordered. So for example, you just like a teenager that just got in trouble. You know what I'm saying? Maybe um, you and your friends broke a few windows at a store or something like that, or y'all hot wiring cars and stuff. I don't know. You know what teenagers do. And you got in trouble and you had to go to court. So the judge says, we're just going to send you to a counselor or whatever. Don't even necessarily have to be like a shrink per se, but they'll send you to a counselor as part of your rehabilitation thing, or to keep you out of juvie or whatever, juvenile hall. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't want to be there. You know what I'm saying? And that's just one example. You got people who come into the office doubting your ability to help them. They're already thinking on the so-called negative side of things, or the dark cloud side of things, where it's like they always look at situations with the glass half empty. You know what I'm saying? They're already on that misery. They're already looking at things like, everything's going downhill. So them coming to you as the shrink, it's already lost. You're already lost. Because now you got to sit here and try to convince the patient that, there's hope in treating them or curing them or, helping them with their issues. How you going to help somebody that don't want to be helped? This is why I'm not here trying to crusade as a revolutionary and help everybody in the black community. Come on now. It's a waste of time. You're dealing with people who want to be where they at. So you're fighting an uphill battle with ice skates on. Just like Blade said in that movie, in his own movie Blade, it was like, motherfuckers is always trying to ice skate uphill. How you going to help somebody that don't really want to be helped? You've already lost. They came in there with a victim psychology, meaning that they see that everything is being done to them. It's not their fault. It's everybody else's fault. It's the world's fault. It's where they grew up at fault. It's their parents' fault. It's the president's fault. It's the media's fault. They never take accountability for what's going on with them. They're a victim. They chose to play victim here. So how can I help a victim? The only way I can help a victim is helping them remain a victim. Now, on the flip side, acrobats. On the flip side, you got your victors who, like I said, it doesn't, they could be victors, but they just need someone to show them a little something. To point them in this direction, to help, to give them a second, have an ear. Get a second opinion. That's a victor. They notice that they have depression or this ailment or this trauma, but they are seeking to overcome. They're seeking to be victorious in this situation. They don't want to keep being affected by this same traumatic issue anymore. They're fed up with it. It's time for a true change. That's the victor. I want to help victors because I know we're going to win by the end of this. I guarantee you, if you come to me as a victor, we're going to win. Don't come to me as a victim, because we're going to lose based on where you're sloped to lose. You're on a downward spiral and you want to be there. Can't help you. I don't want to help you. I don't want to waste my time. But it's different over on the psychiatric and psychotherapy side because they get paid whether they help you or not. And, a lot of people have insurance where it's like, the person that comes to you, they're not paying out of pocket unless it's for like a copay, like a $20, $30, $10, or no copay at all. So it's not money coming out of their pocket for like a lot of money to be there. It's coming out of their insurance. So, like I said, if I was a psychiatrist and I really wanted to get paid off of this and didn't care about helping anybody, I would just sit here and bullshit you for every session we have throughout the weeks and the months together so that I make sure that the insurance money keeps coming in. I'm not trying to help you, I'm trying to get paid off of you. The more clients, the better. And yeah, I'm trying to do the same thing as far as like, this is a paid service that I'm trying to help you with. But we are on the path of victory. And if I sense that you are a victim, I can't help you. I'm going to turn you down. I'm going to turn you down. Because it looks like and it feels like in my heart, you look like you want to lose. You want a losing streak by your own design. Because in metaphysics, this is about understanding our design and how our design is directly responsible or is the cause of the physical phenomena and effects that you are going through throughout your entire life. That's what I'm helping you understand as that metaphysical counselor or consultant or teacher or instructor or disciplinarian. So this message is for the victors. It's not for you victims out there. Because that's a decision you make to be one or the other. So if you're a victim now, you have the golden opportunity at any given moment to say, I'm going to change from that victim state and victim frame of mind into a victor one. Because now if I'm a victor, it doesn't necessarily mean I have to know everything or know how to heal. I can go to people who want to help me win. I can sit here and study people. I can study their websites. I can read their books. I can, explore their videos and see how I can learn from them to win. If you're really trying to like eliminate or overcome a problem, you'll have the impetus, you'll have the drive to get it done, to win. How you going to do that with a victim who has no drive to win? They ain't my type of people. I'm not interested in helping those victims. Remain a victim. That's my advice for victims. Is either you choose to be a victor or remain a victim. Now, getting into, these topics that I deal with on my channel and my pages or whatever, dealing with SEMO again, which is SEMO, SEMO, spirituality, esoterica, metaphysics, occult. Sometimes it helps to speak to someone directly because again you're just listening to me on a video at this moment, or you're listening to someone else's video, reading someone else's book, or watching their lecture or whatever. It's not a one-on-one, because I know a lot of people when they watch these videos they like to share their personal experience. Now in that situation I don't have to really care about your personal issues or whatever you got going on. But if you're hiring me or if you're enlisting me as your counselor or consultant, now I can spend time focusing on you for that hour or 2 hours or however long, what I'm saying, we're going to be in session together. I can focus on you and help you where you need to win. That's what I'm doing as a metaphysical counselor. Because I know like I said, in my personal experience, I didn't win at being at no psychiatrist's office. Now, this is not to say you can't win, because again, there are the rare exceptions out there of people who know what they're doing more than anyone else and they go outside of the official doctrine, said of the American Psychiatric Association of America, or whatever the acronym is. They go beyond the DSM 5 and 6 or 7 or whatever. Their official Bible of, psychoses and, mental disorders and all that stuff. They come out with it like every 20, 30 years or whatever with a new volume, DSM book, manual of mental diseases and illnesses or whatever. When if you were to just deal with your metaphysics directly, you can heal yourself, you can treat yourself, you can overcome on your own. Well, just some guidance from someone, you know what I'm saying, who knows this stuff, which is somebody like me. You know what I'm saying? And it's okay to enlist someone, especially that understands this SEMO content. Because how you gonna go to a shrink or a counselor and try to talk about the stuff that we talk about over here and the stuff I got going on, like spirits or demons or you know what I'm saying, that type of stuff, like ancestors and all that stuff, other worlds, other realms, other you know what I'm saying, magical creatures. They'll think you really on, so they're really trying to put you in a psych ward for something like that. So why not come to somebody like me who understands the whole shebang? You know what I mean? You may be going through something. Have a second opinion. Get an expert second opinion. Someone who has years in this stuff. I want to help you out if you want to win. You don't want to win, I am not the person for you. I ain't that guy. You know what I mean? Relationships. Everybody be out here be having relationship issues. You know what I'm saying? Why not come to somebody like me where we can, get into the metaphysics of that? Why not? Because you may be what's considered the black sheep of your family. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you watch this, because the stuff that I put up. You know what I'm saying? You're the black sheep. You're the only person that really is into, consciousness and spirituality and all these SEMO subjects. You know what I mean? And this goes especially for like you younger people. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm in my mid 30s. Like for those of you that are hitting your 20s or you're in your, mid 20s reaching your 30s, like talk to your mans right here. I can help you out. You know? Obviously, we're going to try to deal with the astrology of things, but again, we also deal with, or on my end, just talking about me, we deal with all types of topics. Any topic you dealing with, anything, occult, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Deal with the whole thing. Don't be afraid to reach out and ask. And I'm not expensive. Like I have fair prices for the stuff I put out here, products and services. Don't be afraid to ask. You know what I'm saying? Or if you just want to, chop it up or you want to build, I mean, the reason why you would be paying me because my time is valuable, you respect that, right? You know what I'm saying? And see how much you've learned. And this is, like I said, this is a chance for like a one-on-one educational thing too, because that's what definitely a consultant does is educate you on a certain topic. You know what I mean? So if you want to compare notes or you want to compare what you've learned so far and you want that personal one-to-one talk with me, I'm available. We can schedule whenever. I'm free to, you know what I'm saying? My schedule is usually free for that stuff. It's okay to you know what I'm saying, fellowship. Well, I wouldn't call it a fellowship because that's more like a Christian group thing. But fellow to fellow, you know what I'm saying? Whether male or female, it doesn't matter. Fellow to fellow, like, we can chop that up. You get a lot of bang for your buck. So again, my name is Alex Will 64. I'm an official metaphysical scientist, metaphysical counselor, consultant. Enlist my services. You can go to ether-ins.teachable.com or you can email me. My email that I have here on the video, and let me know. We can get through this. Only if you're a winner. Only if you have that victim. If you have that victim thing, stay away. The victor. Almost got it mixed up. If you have that victor psychology, that victor mind state, we gonna win. And before I close this out, I did want to say that all the the services that I do have on my Ether-INS website. Also, the books that the Ghanaian witchcraft books, those are still available for sale if you want to buy. I have an ebook form. Yeah, ebook form. So where you can just read it as a PDF on your smart device or computer or whatever. So those are still available if you want to still purchase any of those books or whatever. And then, like I said in the previous video, I was talking about my Doth Star Legacy suite or content, where all the videos that I took down from my YouTube and the documents that went with that, putting it all together as a course for you. If you want to get into that, that's available too. And like I said, Patreon is now up and running. Again, we're going to make sure I'm going to make sure I'm going to have, some content for you each week for you to, watch, and we can have discussions about it, because you are able to comment on those videos that you see on the Patreon. So sign up today. You know what I'm saying? Alex Will signing out. Praise be to the victors.